let's do a little traveling here and take you to the airports to see where we are going to have some problems. Right now, everything is looking good with the exception of Boston, the first airport to kind of show up as yellow on the map for us. But there's going to be a lot more like this as we head throughout the day because we have storms coming in, we have rain coming in, and it's not just in the Northeast. We are going to see the storms all the way down into Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. And so that entire I-95 corridor could cause a lot of issues and a lot of backups, not only I-95 corridor, but if your plane is coming from there or your crew is coming from there, then that can slow everything down. We have that domino effect. I haven't done dominoes in a while. I have to do that. Oh, boy. Here we go. And by the way, the storms haven't even gotten in yet. Already a mess. This is why earlier I was like, I'm surprised it's not some and not more than that. But we have delays kicking off. Here they go. Boston, LaGuardia, JFK, Newark, Philly. And again, everything is still rotating in. So the worst isn't even come here yet. Excuse me. Virginia, the Mid-Atlantic, down into the Carolinas, not only flying, but also driving. This might be one of those instances where the rain is coming down so hard and heavily you can barely see out your windshield. Everyone slows down. Some people put their flashers on. Don't forget that is actually illegal in numerous states. And it's also just confusing to drivers because they don't know if you need help, if you're pulled over. So keep that in mind. Thanks to Angie for that reminder, one of our colleagues who sent that around. Into the Northeast, we are going to get rain, and we are going to get more rain into tomorrow. Low pressure really developing off the coast, and so things could flood. Think about the FDR. I feel like the FDR floods a lot. Think about other spots where maybe drains get clogged. That doesn't help the situation. But we're going to have very high rainfall rates with all the moisture that we have here. And Jim, storms that we saw yesterday was kind of like the precursor to what we could see today. Could be even worse as things amplify today.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get that.
Especially if you got your home and your business. I mean, both of them just utterly heartbreaking. That was one of 5 reports of tornadoes yesterday. And notice that we had strong wind gusts as well. Lakeview, Chicago, at Navy Pier, gusted to 74. I saw 78 in South Dakota. This is apple-sized hail. And this is all on the east side of the ridge. It just went right down it like that. And now we are going to continue to see that motion, but it's going to be a little bit farther into Virginia, West Virginia, and the Carolinas. The Northeast is also going to see a lot more storm reports as we go throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. Look at our numbers. They are going down. We were at 314 not too long ago, so we are getting our power back, but still over 200,000 in Illinois without power. Here is that ridge that I was mentioning. High pressure, hot air, and strong winds racing right down into West Virginia, North Carolina. This ridge is going to amplify with energy coming in, low pressure, rain that low as we go into tonight and tomorrow is going to get some of that low-level jet energy. Is going to pull moisture right into the Northeast. Jim's going to focus on that part of the story. I'm going to focus on the severe weather because we already have storms coming in. And by the way, it's already a disaster in the Northeast with airlines because of these thunderstorms and planes trying to get through those to get into the Northeast. That's causing delays, and we could see a domino effect from that. I think travel is going to be a mess, not only because of the Northeast, but look at this entire area where we could see severe weather. We could see supercells. Those are rotating thunderstorms. Strong winds are very likely here. When you're 58 to 74, that's severe. Limbs, semi-trucks, those are turned over. And when you get even higher, which we saw higher yesterday, you could get some roof damage to homes. There is the possibility of a little bit of spin in the atmosphere. Watch these winds as we go through the day. See how everything's coming south? That's because this trough is amplifying and things are getting more intense as we go into the evening. If you go up to 300 millibars, the same wind, then that low-level jet comes in. Whoops. Okay, well, it's not, I don't know, it's just me. There we go. It's going to be kind of like that. So watch these storms go south through the afternoon and into the evening, and unfortunately into the overnight hours. You'll still see that threat for severe weather. Notice all this rain pivoting around into the Northeast, and that's where Jim is going to pick up the story.
Yeah, so Steph's on the jet side where it's moving. I'm on the part of the trough that's actually going to kind of close
on the chance for lots of runoff, Steph.
That we do. So flooding, if you're doing any driving on any of the highways there, if you're driving in the south, it's going to be air on full blast. Hopefully your air is working. It's like this is not the time for it to cut out. We do have heat advisories across the south, really. Temperatures in the 80s and those dew point temperatures in the 70s. That is going, even the 80s in some spots. Look at these little spots of 80s. That is going to make it feel extremely uncomfortable. Well above 100 degrees here into the capital of Florida, 106 by 4 p.m. Remember, the daylight hours are actually starting to get shorter and shorter and shorter. We still have plenty of summer long daylight hours. So you're really kind of maxing out at 4 o'clock with the hottest time of the day. The 1-teens where you see pink on the map for us here. We do start to see a little bit of a shift tomorrow. So we get a little bit of relief, if you will, here into Atlanta. You see it's just a touch down there. But our high pressure is going to be moving west. It's going to be flattening a bit. And we're going to see more trophiness here in the east. We're actually going to see some storms as we head into the weekend. But we stay hot and humid into the southern plains. And then the heat really builds in the west. And we are going to be well above average here for us. Look at Phoenix, 10 degrees above average. And that's a lot. If it's already hot in Phoenix to start, right? 106. And then we're going to add 10 to that. Dallas, we have the humidity here. So it's going to feel even hotter. But this is what it will say on the actual thermometer. But with the humidity, it'll feel even hotter. And then it's the overnight lows that they never really cool off. So we have the 80s. That's the coolest you're going to get here into Dallas. And as we look at the extended forecast, August right around the corner, it is likely that we are going to stay above average here across much of the country. People might say, Jordan, well, it's August after all. But yes, this is above the average hot heat that we would see.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, we'll head on America's.
It is time to go traveling, and we already have problems, and the big show hasn't even started just yet. But planes that are trying to fly into the Northeast are, oops, sorry, I jumped behind that. I was trying to hide from you guys for a second. Boston, Newark, JFK, LaGuardia, we have issues due to thunderstorms, but it's planes that are trying to get into the Northeast because there is a line of storms, and I just looked up all the flights, and they're trying to go around the storms, and so that's why things are slowing down. So moderate delays here, but things are expected to get worse as we head throughout the day because we are going to see more bad weather sneak up on us, not only today, but also into tomorrow, especially into tomorrow morning as well. But look at that mess. And it's because of the thunderstorms that we have here off to the west. And so what all these airports are saying is due to thunderstorm weather, planes getting into the Northeast might have ground stop, departure delay type of a thing because they've got to navigate around these storms to get into the Northeast because the weather in the Northeast is really fine overall, if you will, relatively speaking. But of course, as a plane is late to get into the Northeast, then guess what? It's late to get out of the Northeast. So this is just the beginning of what's going to be a rough couple of days of travel because it's not only the Northeast, but Mid-Atlantic and South, where we also have storms that are going to develop. So that's going to slow us down on the roads and also in the air. Then, of course, we have that huge threat of flooding as we head into tomorrow. And by the way, I'm surprised that this likely isn't a little farther east into parts of Connecticut, Massachusetts. Huh? Right? So
I agree with you, though.
You're with me on that.
Especially with the new QPF forecast.
Yeah.
You're right.
And just kind of, you really have those strong low-level jet really kind of cranking right into that area.
Be larger, too.
Anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this likely spread a little bit farther east into parts of Connecticut and whatnot. So here are those storms for you as we go through the day today, Jim, into tomorrow. I think we're going to have a lot of delays and a lot of catch-up, which slows everything down as well.
Jeez, not a lot of green.